Hafide, and welcome back to KUAM's countdown of the top 10 stories of 2013. We are getting closer to number 1, but number 4 in our countdown takes us to the Department of Corrections.
It was a headlining year for the Department of Corrections, which topped several of our newscasts for issues such as a hole that was discovered along a perimeter fence, officers that tested positive for crystal meth, officers accused of tasering inmates, and of course the incident involving an accused murderer who managed to escape from a prison transport vehicle that didn't even have proper locking mechanisms. And while on his brief moment of freedom, the prisoner broke into a home in Mangilao, beat and bound a woman before he was finally captured. There was also the incident involving an officer who hung the American flag upside down. But among all the headlines out of DOC, it was an anonymous video and pictures that KUAM obtained and provided to Director Jose San Agustin that created the most controversy. Videos like this of a maximum security inmate giving a foot massage to a corrections officer.
It's not acceptable at all. If you ask me, that's personal servitude. That's having a prisoner doing something illegal, inappropriate to a staff. That's not good.
Also not good, the pictures we obtained of a DOC officer sitting next to a maximum security inmate holding and looking at a cell phone. The next picture, the same inmate, but this time the same officer, appeared to be sleeping.
I would ask that provide me this information and let me do my investigation. Let me do what I gotta do.
KUAM agreed to provide the pictures and the foot massage video to San Agustin, and we threw in another one. With multiple IA investigations, DOC appeared before the Guam legislature for an oversight hearing. The director provided information on the staffing shortages and what he's doing to turn things around at his agency. It was one of the largest high-profile cases of the year. Several of Guam's men in blue standing trial for breaking laws they were sworn to uphold. After 3 weeks of trial, it took jurors less than a week to return a guilty verdict against police officers Anthony Kenga and David Manila. The two were charged with conspiracy to commit kidnapping, compelling and abetting prostitution, criminal intimidation and criminal facilitation, criminal sexual conduct, and official misconduct. Kenga and Manila, they were the enforcing arm of Songja Cha, the owner of the Blue House Lounge criminal enterprise. Cha, who is being tried separately, is accused of luring young girls from Chuk to work as prostitutes in the former Upper Tumon bar. Another officer, Mario Laksamana, was also implicated in the case, but entered into a plea agreement. Despite the September guilty verdicts, Attorney General Leonardo Rapadas warned that the case wasn't closed.
I wish I could say that this is the last chapter of the Blue House case, but I am informed that there may be some other allegations involving other police officers that we have to determine we can prosecute beyond a reasonable doubt. And the criminal investigation evidence also gets folded into the administrative investigation of the matter as requested by the governor and the lieutenant governor that is yet to be completed.
Defense attorneys in the case announced they plan to file an appeal and felt the jurors failed to comprehend the issues in the litigation.
You compare this with how Mario got off with one felony and the rest just, and he was, there are a lot of other things that didn't come out about him, and it's not justice. It's not fair. This treatment is too disparate.
Yeah, it's virtually certain there will be an appeal, and there are some substantial issues, legal issues. Of course, what the jury says about the facts, that's by the way it is, but you can expect an appeal.
Kenga and Manila were scheduled to be sentenced in November, but it was vacated as the defense filed several motions that must first be addressed by the court. The defense is seeking a new trial, alleging questionable prosecutorial conduct throughout the trial. Additionally, they argue that none of the potential jurors in the pool had escaped exposure to the media coverage of the trial, and some admitted they had already made up their minds but promised to keep an open mind during the trial anyway. It was in February, hundreds of soldiers from the Guam Army National Guard filled the University of Guam Fieldhouse for a send-off ceremony.
Our deploying soldiers literally represents the whole island and the region. They come from each and every village throughout the island, from Chico in the north to the southernmost villages of Inalahan, Maleso, and Umapac.
More than 600 of Guam's Guards men and women were deployed to Afghanistan. They were from the 1st Battalion 294th Infantry Regiment, the 1990th Contingency Contracting Team, and the 254th Security Forces Squadron. Their deployment required thousands of hours of training. Battalion Commander Lieutenant Colonel Michael Tuffer.
The training that we've done has been everything from a resiliency type training, developing resiliency in our soldiers so that they know how to deal with the stress and distance from their families, things like that. But we've also obviously done a lot of combat related training.
And as the year comes to a close, the good news came that our soldiers would be returning home early. And just before Christmas, more than half had already landed on U.S. soil at Camp Shelby in Mississippi. The deployment, however, did not come without tragedy. Almost 1 month into the tour, in May of this year, Guam saw the passing of 2 soldiers, Corporal Dwayne W. Flores of Sinahanya and Sergeant Eugene M. Uggan of Mangilao. The 2 were part of a convoy of coalition forces that was targeted by a radical militant group with ties to the Taliban.
It is a deep and heart-rending loss for all of us. Although both were very young, based on what I have heard from others who knew them personally, they were also very involved in their communities and in their parish. They will most certainly be missed, but I know their memories will be treasured by many for a long time.
Aside from our fallen heroes, our entire island community was saddened by the loss of several prominent people.